Wanda versus Jaina.
You asked for it. You give me
Well, at least I finally queued into something that's not Shaman. I think Talon Priest is the only one of these cards I ever really want early. This is a pretty good hand. Probably Crab into Talon Priest into Coin Fenja. Might have to coin a Talon Priest on 2 though, because Mana Worm is pretty scary. Yeah, if I play the Crab here, it's just gonna get one-shot by the Mana Worm, so I think I have to coin out a Talon Priest. It's really not that hard for him to kill the Talon Priest, but I think most of the time he has to trade off the Mana Worm too. The nightmare would be that he got Fireball from that Primordial Glyph. Oh, he actually took the Shatter. That wasn't a very good Shatter, so I guess I'm okay with that. Throw away the Talon Priest here, I guess. If he has Fireball here, I'm in really bad shape. Alright, this is actually looking like a very slow turn from him.
Excuse me, you are on fire.
Alright, that certainly could have gone worse. Probably just playing double 2-drop here. Is there anything I can get off Shadow Visions? Second Power Word Shield's not bad. Silence is actually quite good. Let's play this instead of the Crab. Shut down this Mana Worm. And then next turn we play Fenja, and we have War Leader to back up the Fenja. I think this game is still okay. Wow. I guess I'll trade off because I don't want him hero powering that. And there's still a thing on the board for Fenja to kill. I have a really hard time imagining how his turn 5 could possibly be that bad. Oh, he reached that conclusion really fast. Just kill his own dude. Fine with me, I guess. I'll play out a Crab here, but I'll hold back on the Cleric. I think there's some chance he has to Flame Strike this board, so I don't want to give him too much. I think there's actually some chance he would have had to Flame Strike just Fenja. But if it's just Fenja, I'm not really applying any pressure. Sometimes he can just wait it out. Alright, that's getting War Leadered. If I play the Mirage Caller here on the War Leader, I can guarantee this guy lives with 1 health. But then I get really wrecked by Flame Strike. If I pull the other War Leader out of my deck, which happens 2/3 of the time, then the 2 War Leaders will survive a Flame Strike. But I guess if I'm not getting a War Leader anyway, or if I am getting a War Leader anyway, then this guy survives. So there's no real reason to commit the Mirage Caller first, right? Alright. So I let Fenja die here. But I don't want to play the Mirage Caller at all now, because Flame Strike is already ridiculously good. Unfortunately, if he does have the Flame Strike here, which looks like I lucked out, I would have had a pretty hard time recovering. That was a much better Shadow Flame than he probably even realizes, because I could have bursted for 6 with Mirage Caller.
Is someone injured?
Let's keep this War Leader healthy.
What is real?
And then we'll keep it even healthier. Pretty sure he would have just played Flame Strike if he had it last turn, so I'm just not going to play around it anymore.
An incredible discovery!
So I have 11 damage here, I believe. I've used both of my bluegills, so there's no way for me to get lethal this turn.
Right away.
Let's just draw a card off this. Silence. I can actually silence this for a little bit of burst, but it's not enough, right? I do this 7, then I silence this guy and he goes up to 5, that's 12. Alright. Let's just trade that off and play a Curator here.
The menagerie is for guests only.
I could have played the Curator before drawing with the Cleric. It would have prevented me from drawing my last Beast or my last Murloc, but if I drew my last Murloc, then I could pop his Ice Block, so it actually wasn't that bad. Or if I drew Mind Blast, I could have popped his block. So, I mean, I probably just play Shadow or Death and pop him at 1, right? Seems like the only real play here. I could play a Blade Master and draw a card off of it with Cleric if I wanted. It's probably actually somewhat important to draw a card here, because if I pop him and then he clears my board, I actually don't have lethal. So if I could draw into this Mind Blast or the Shadow Visions into the Mind Blast, it would actually be pretty nice.
Do not touch.
And I think that's it for this turn. I don't really feel a need to commit anything else to the board because he needs AoE anyway.
I hear you got a problem.
Needs the second Ice Block. That Ravenholt Assassin was actually pretty scary if he had the Ice Block. He didn't though.
Tyrande versus Tyrande.
You give me strength. The goddess is my shield.
I don't think any of these are keeps. I might even go coin War Leader into War Leader if his board is empty. That's 2 5/4s pretty early on. Alright, we'll pass here, see what he does this turn.
You will regret this.
Okay, he didn't do anything, so let's try to Murgle him. This Murloc into Murloc thing is potentially ridiculous because then I have a Barnes follow-up, which could pull either Finja or a Bluegill, which would be ridiculous. And if he manages to kill one of them, I have Onyx Bishop on 5. This trade just ends up working out really well for me.
I wonder.
Let the pain speak to me.
Okay. I can still kill that with a Murloc.
Tonight,
Try to high roll with Barnes here.
Is someone injured?
Not quite, but still good. I had coins, so there's no Dragonfire potion this turn. It's a really strong potion of madness. Wow, really?
Thank you.
Thanks. It's actually not that bad for me though, because since he stole the Cleric, my Cleric didn't die. A Cleric on my side of the board didn't die. So Onyx Bishop is guaranteed to get the Murloc,
the game begins.
which I would definitely prefer here. I do still get pretty wrecked by a Dragonfire potion here though.
Do you like to play with fire?
Okay, that's not a Dragonfire potion. I have lethal right now. Not sure what he can do with 1 mana. I guess a Holy Smite would actually be pretty good here. It doesn't even shrink the War Leader. That's silly. Alright, well, I had a pretty ridiculous draw that game.
Tyrande versus Malfurion. My beloved Tyrande.
My dear Malfurion.
So I definitely like keeping these cards, but off the coin I'm not sure that I want to keep both. I think I probably will though. Sometimes if I pick up a Radiant Elemental or a Cleric, the Talon Priest is a better turn 3 play anyway. And maybe it's just a better turn 3 play overall because of Wrath. Assuming he's Jade Druid. And I only have one 4-drop in the deck, which happens to be Barnes, which I drew. But normally it's kind of hard to find a 4-mana play. Alright, Wild Growth here most likely implies a Jade Blossom this turn. Alright, there's the Jade Blossom. I wonder what he was thinking about that turn. Seemed pretty straightforward. Let's just try to keep this dude alive. Next turn I have Barnes Silence, so if I high roll into like a Deathwing or a Velen or a Hydra, that can be a pretty sick combo. Alright. Sure. His whole turn is killing my 2-drop. I'm not that upset by that. Easy Deathwing. Alright, definitely don't want to silence that. I mean, silencing that really wasn't that bad. It makes swipe a lot worse this turn. But if he's swiping on 6 mana, I don't think I'm that upset. I'd much rather see a swipe here than a Jade Behemoth. Looks like he does have the swipe. And the Wrath. Could have silenced it, I guess. Just play some dudes out here. He obviously doesn't like these Radiant Elementals, so force him to deal with another one. Maybe I should have played Talon Priest instead of Blade Master, but I just saw a swipe and a Wrath. I think it's fine. Can potentially land the Talon Priest buff on the Blade Master, which would be a lot better. Alrighty. Wow, that really didn't seem like a 70-second turn. I think I'm in a pretty bad spot here. I'm just a little bit too far behind.
You wish to live forever.
Or not really behind, but I'm not far enough ahead, I guess I should say, considering how much better his deck is late game than mine. But I have a Deathwing. Deathwing is pretty good in this matchup. I can still Finja high roll. Although honestly, Finja's probably gonna have a hard time finding targets past this turn. Primordial Drake. Well, the Hydra is pretty good against that. There's Deathwing. Probably planning on playing that pretty soon. Might even just slam it on turn 10 if I'm behind on board. Nourish is really bad to see, since he was running so low on cards. But 4 mana is not that much to work with. If he doesn't have a Jade Spirit here, I think I'm okay. Killing the Hydra. Wow. I guess that makes sense. Oh, please, Hydra. Alright. Yeah, it makes sense to kill the Hydra for him, though, because the Hydra was always trading into the Primordial Drake, and then I could have just healed it up and maybe he could never deal with it. So that was a good play. I think Radiant Elemental was the worst Resurrect target there, right? Had a bunch of 3/4s, a 4/7. I think I had a War Leader off the Barnes, so a 3/3. And obviously an 8/8 Hydra. How do you not just have a pile of Jade Golems? I guess the Blade Master is an okay pickup. He's got a lot of stats, doesn't die to this guy. Maybe I should have just bluegilled his face if I wanted to play Deathwing on 10. Do I want to play Deathwing here, or do I want to try to get more value out of it? It's at 16. The thing is, if I play Deathwing here, like, how does he deal with it? Let's just Deathwing him. I regret not getting my 2 damage out of the bluegill last turn. It might actually cost me lethal next turn. He'd be at 11 here, he could hero power up to 12. Hopefully I don't get too punished for that. I do have some potential lethal draws if I do leave him at 2 here. Okay, looks like I'm probably not getting lethal. This dude is playing mind control tech. Haven't seen that in a while. Do I want to play the Mirage Caller here? It's just a 2-3. Does it get better? Could potentially give me lethal with a Bluegill Warrior next turn. It's pretty decent with War Leader. If I draw Finja, it's really good. Might end up being pretty good with the Velen if Velen can stick. Let's hold back on the Mirage Caller. Alright, well, Mind Blast is lethal. Nice. That was a weird game. Felt like he drew really poorly. He did get his Jade Golems up to, what, like 5-5 though? No Aya though.